Alright, here we go with part two. I'm going to be answering questions from some of the other posts I did and some other sources. So, here we go. Actually, I asked a question, so I'm going to address your answers. This week is the third anniversary of the channel. This was a month ago. In honor of that, give me your favorite three. Top three characters, top three villain, top three anime. Give me your favorite threes of anything. So, here we go. Top three anime. This is from Maya Kasuka. One Piece, number one. Attack on Titan, number two. Naruto, number three. Well, I happen to have seen all three of those. I can only rank things I've finished, right? So we can't rank One Piece yet. The best anime I've ever seen. The best anime I've ever seen. Well, see, best can mean so many things. The most entertaining anime I've ever seen, like pure entertainment value, might have been Cowboy Bebop. It might have been Samurai Champloo. I lump those in the same bucket because they're very similar shows. The funniest anime I've ever seen is Kaguya Love is War. Damn, god damn, that shit is funny. The most exciting anime I've ever seen might be Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. There was excitement all over the place. That was, great fights. The most mysterious puzzle box type mystery box show was Attack on Titan. So like best, what, top three, it's just impossible. The more I watch, the more impossible it's going to be. Those are some of my tops, though. One Piece is going to be the best thing I've ever seen when I finish it, if they stick to landing. But we're not there yet, so I can't even put it on the list. Top three One Piece characters. Usopp, number one. Hold on. This has to be broken. There's no way I just saw that. It still says Usopp as number one. Number two is Luffy. And number three is Zoro. Mr. Robot. Top three anime. Kimi got killed. Never even heard of that. One Piece, Vinland Saga. Vinland Sagas weren't very good. Neither one of those are finished, so we can't judge them yet. But I didn't say finished, by the way. You guys can answer however you want to. I won't answer the question if I haven't finished something. If they haven't finished. So, but yeah, I'm not saying you suck if you pick One Piece, because I'm right there with you. But I just like to finish it. Top three anime, manga protagonist, Guts. Who the hell is Guts? Guts. Wow. Best ever. That just sounds like a porn name to me. Luffy and Killua. I agree with those. Those are very awesome characters. And see, that's the thing. You can pick favorite characters, even if the manga is not finished. Because you like them so far. We'll see what happens, right? Like, very rarely do you... How rare would it be for you to love a character and then suddenly not love them because of the way it ended? I can only think of one time it's ever happened. That was with Spike. Because of what happened in season 6. Other than that, how are you going to ruin a character, right? So, if you love a character halfway through, you're going to love them at the end. That's typically the way that works, right? Hunter Stone, top three anime. One Piece. Beastars? Never heard of that. Mob Psycho 100, never heard of it. Top three One Piece characters. Usopp. No wonder he pushes back on my Usopp takes. How in the... Luffy and Zoro. Those, there's no love for Chopper. No love for Frankie. Nami I can understand. She's even more one note than anybody but Sanji. There's not much there. Chopper has layers, man. Frankie's got layers. He'll beat your ass and go take you out for a beer, man. That was such a great sequence. And I think it was... wasn't it the Big Mom's house? Yeah, because the dude that could swim under the pavement, right? He was protecting no, that may have been Dressrosa. I think that was Dressrosa. Because he was protecting a factory and Big Mom didn't have a factory. Okay. Top three One Piece arcs. Water 7, Whole Cake Island, that's I was trying to think of the name of the arc. And Marineford. Top three anime openings or endings. Memories One Piece ending number 1. Beastar's Wild Side opening number 1. Mob Psycho 100 opening number 2. That's all y'all. I don't really care about the openings or closings. Every now and then there'll be some song that really slaps, but typically I don't care. Yeah, I just realized this last person talked about villains. I don't think anybody else ranked villains. If you're watching this, I'm curious what your favorite villains are. We never talk about that, but I'm curious, who are your favorite villains? So drop that on me. One Piece specifically, but if you want to talk about villains from other shows, there's a villain in Chainsaw Man. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Hopefully we get another season at some point. You know, the time period between seasons of some of these animes is just ridiculous. This is Pixie, Dust, and Fire. I love that name. Characters: Killua, Levi, and Monkey D. Luffy. Can't argue with that list. That's a very strong character list. No love for Gon, though. I guess Killua is more interesting because he's got a tragic, assassinating backstory. Spoiler alert. You know, you can't. If you're a normal person, nobody's gonna love you. Like, you got to have some tragic ass, toxic ass family. You know, people love Sanji with his toxic ass family. Guess you got to have all that to be interesting, huh? I see how it is. Villains: Johann Lieber, whoever the hell that is. Probably Attack on Titan. That sounds like an Attack on Titan name. Shogo Makashima. Maybe it's a bad idea to list villains. I don't know who the hell are these people. I've never seen these names before in my life, and I probably have watched these anime. I guess I don't remember villain names as well as I thought I did. And something called Miriam. I don't know. Who are you people? I don't want to look it up in case it's something I haven't seen, and they talk about how they get killed in episode 6 or whatever. Top anime: One Piece, Monster. Agree. Monster's a great anime. Really good. And something called 86 I've never heard of. One comment I found interesting, and I did a post about a month ago where it's like, it's Gold Roger standing there, and it's like, it's such a funny story, all that stuff. Hunter Stone said, the One Piece is real. And my question is, was that ever in doubt? Like, honestly, tell me honestly. The show's called One Piece. It's been on for a long time. The One Piece has been mentioned many times. People speculate whether it's real or not within the show. Did you, as an audience member, realizing this is a fictional story, this isn't real life, where you open up Al Capone's vault and there's nothing in the vault because that's real life. This is a fictional, constructed story to be awesome and cool and exciting. Did you ever truly believe that One Piece was not real? Did you think we were going to go 30 years of seeing a story? 30 years, 2,000 episodes, 3,000 manga issues. Did you really believe we would get to the end of the story and there would be no One Piece? It never existed. Did you ever consider that as a possibility? Now, I know that's cheating because we should only factor in story. Like, in the story, is there enough evidence that it's real? This gives us solid evidence it's real. This is the one time when we can actually declare it's real. I'm going outside the story. But we live outside the story. Our brains function outside the story. Did you actually ever believe it wasn't real? I never did. Because that's not the way stories work. There'd be a riot. They would burn whatever city he lives in to the ground if they got to the end of the story and there's no One Piece. Like, I didn't consider it as a possibility. Although it is nice to have official confirmation. All right, who had the most epic death in One Piece history? I ran a poll. Goldie Roger, Whitebeard, Ace, and Odin. And I ran the poll right after Odin died because it's a pretty epic death, right? Ace and Odin got 6 and 8% respectively. Goldie Roger got 10%. Whitebeard got 77%. The most epic death. Hard to argue with it. Although I still think it was Goldie Roger because he created the entire pirate movement. We wouldn't even have the world as it is wouldn't exist without his death and what he said right before his death. Epic. Yeah, Whitebeard was awesome. What did he change? He left behind territory that Blackbeard took over. Congratulations. That's what you changed. What did Gold Roger change? He changed the entire effing world. I'm going to pick the death that changes the entire effing world. That's epic. There's scale to that. You changed the entire world. You didn't change the geopolitics of one region of one ocean. Epic. Whitebeard my ass. It was a great death. It was awesome, but like it wasn't epic, man. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. Devil Gaming Ultra, easy. Whitebeard then Roger. And then Centipals, I think is what that is. Wow, very interesting partial results. I didn't expect there would be clear agreement on this topic. I didn't. I thought it'd be way more even than this. A bunch of white beard simps is what we got up in here. Look, great. It was a great death. It was an awesome death. I want to die standing up. My body's still standing. My body never falls to the ground. That would be awesome. But then what happened to you after he went under he threw a blanket over you and went in there? What did he do? I think he desecrated your corpse in ways we won't describe. But, that's not epic. Your corpse got violated right after you died. That's not epic. But that's not even what we're talking about. We're just talking about, like, the scale of what impact your death had on the world. I don't know what epic really means for deaths, but Ace was the most horrifying while Whitebeard felt powerful. I agree with that. This is Pixie Dust and Fire. Rogers was similar to Whitebeard's, but less impactful for us who didn't know anything about him at the time. Less impactful. Yeah, maybe to us. What effect did it have on the world? Completely changed the social and political dynamics of the entire effing world. That's epic, man. Look, I know I didn't define what epic is because I wanted people to come up with their own reasons. Like I said, they talk about like Aces was most horrifying. We wouldn't have got that answer if I had defined what epic means. I like that answer. Whitebeards felt powerful. It did. I agree, 100%. So yeah, I'm not trolling people or whatever, making fun of people for not understanding my question because I intentionally didn't explain my question because I wanted a variety of answers. Yeah, so I'm not making fun of anybody, but I'm talking about if we just use the word epic and just factor that in. What impact did the death have? And if I ask that question again, who had the most impactful death that impacted the most shit? It would be Gold Roger. Like, I think, so that's not the question I asked. So, like I said, I'm not making fun of anybody. All right, I don't know what to write. LMO, that's their name. I don't know what to write. LMAO. That's a permanent reminder of a temporary feeling. When you actually created your handle, you have felt some kind of way, and now you're stuck with this name for the rest of your life. Kind of like getting a tattoo. Permanent reminder of a temporary feeling, right? Kind of like getting pregnant. Permanent reminder of a temporary feeling. The One Piece. The One Piece is real. Can you get much higher? So high. That's the answer? Maybe you're high. Maybe that's why you had the name you do. Yeah. But I think what this is implying is Goldie Roger, because that's the song that goes along with his narration, right? I believe. So what you're saying, if I'm reading between the lines, is Goldie Roger. I'm going to take that vote. HIG. This is another reason why I think Luffy will die at the end of the series, because he needs to follow in the footsteps of those characters he keeps being compared to and get his epic death as well. Except he keeps being compared to Blackbeard as well. So are we saying Blackbeard? Maybe Blackbeard will be the one who dies because Blackbeard is a dark reflection of Luffy. They're essentially the same person, just two sides of the coin, right? So Blackbeard can take the sacrificial lamb spot and still represent everything you're talking about thematically. Because I agree with you thematically in these happen, but I think we have two candidates. There are two chosen ones. It could have been Neville or it could have been Harry Potter. Voldemort picked which one was the chosen one, but it could have been either one. In this case, it could be Blackbeard, it could be Luffy. I think it's going to be Blackbeard, who has a thematic death. Corazon is up there for me, but Whitebeard is the most epic. I accept your comment. 55 p.m. By the way, I love 55 p.m.'s avatar. It's like a creepy, blood-ridden, not smiley face, kind of a stone face. It looks like a smiley face, but he's not smiling, and he's got blood in his eyes, it looks like. I love it. That's a good avatar. Ace was epic, but for Lava Boy, not for himself. Are you saying that, like, by killing Ace, Lava Boy took a level in badass? I think that's what you seem to be saying. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, I think it's interesting. I ran a poll 3 days ago. Which TV show that is always instrumental goes the hardest? And my choices were Bojack Horseman, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, House, Game of Thrones. No mention of One Piece. I think probably because it has lyrics. They don't ever do an instrumental opening, do that. I bet if I said lyrics and left One Piece off the list, people would be pissed. Because people seem to really like the theme songs. People like anime theme songs in general. And the opening credits and all that stuff, they have a word for whatever that is. Not opening credits, but that's what it is. But I'll look at Reddit sometimes for other anime, like, My Hero Academia or something. And they'll talk about, like, Oh, they changed the opening, whatever the word is for opening theme song with the visuals and stuff. Never been something I cared about, but people seem to really like that stuff. And I imagine One Piece song is probably pretty high on your list. And there's been more than one song, like I said. But well, I like with the 1000th episode, the most recent one I've watched actually. They went back to the old school song, which even I remember. Because I think they had a cold open a couple times. I had to sit through the song a couple times, and that's probably my favorite. I haven't really listened to many of them though. I don't. Like I said, it's not really that exciting to me. But if I was to pick One Piece song, it'd probably be the first one they did. It's young, it's optimistic. They haven't been beaten down by life and pirates yet, so it's a fun song. It's a sea shanty. All right, well, now I'm going to look through the comments. I'm going to go back a month or two and see if there's anything anybody wanted me to talk about. Okay, this is from about a month ago. It's episode 928, Power of Death. In your rankings of competence, you forgot to include Brooke. Yeah, that was a huge miscarriage of justice there. He should be ranked, obviously. I think I would rate him below Robin as number 2 since he's very clutch at doing things like stealing the poneglyph and breaking the portrait at Whole Cake Island. Also, he went one-on-one. He's the only character to go one-on-one with Big Mom and last more than like a couple seconds. He lasted. He got defeated, of course, but he lasted longer than a couple seconds. Pretty damn impressive. I don't know if I'd put him at 2. I think he's below Zoro, but he's pretty high up, right? If we were to go Luffy, Robin, Zoro, probably Frankie, because Frankie could do the range attacks, and then we'd put Brooke. So no less, he'd be no lower than 5, maybe 4. Because he could also do the soul stuff. He can snatch souls, that's good in certain circumstances. He can bring the cold, which could help you in certain circumstances. So, yeah, I think he's clutch. So, let's see, it's Kaido. So it's just Kaido. Hunter was telling me in episode 913. Pronounce it all one way. That's why you listen to us and not the anime. You'll just get confused. Because, man, they do be pronounced in different ways in the anime. Kaido. Kaido. I'll remember that at least for the next 10 minutes. This is interesting. There's Hunter's telling me in the same episode that Kaido's dragon form is CGI because it would be too hard to animate the full dragon by hand, drawing hundreds of times. I didn't pick up on that. It didn't look like CGI to me, so that's very well woven into the thing. A lot of times on the ocean it'll look like CGI because it's just hard to draw. The difference between drawing ocean and CGI ocean is very different, right? So it just looks very different. I didn't tell with the dragon. It didn't like scream, CGI to me. By the way, going back to these episodes, he's like 100. He's actually here a month ago. He was only on episode 594. Kato Pack. Great comments. Too mean to read. Like, he leaves a lot of comments, but like one of them, for instance, camera back away from the microphone, nowhere nearby ass. Zoinks. Law has so many doubts in these minutes. He's got some very fun comments. You should go check it out. Yeah, that was when the camera backed away and I was pretty pissed off. The next one he commented was 612. I wonder if he watched that many in a row. Like, that's the very next comment I got. So he may have done an all-nighter where he watched like a shit ton of my episodes. Because that's like 18 episodes. And each one's like 20 minutes. So 3 per hour, right? Like, Jesus. All-nighter. I'm here for it. I'm here for the all-nighter. I should do an all-nighter reaction one time. Also, Kato Pack in 614 likes my comment. Gaslit by the Gas Man. I'm pretty proud of that one. It was obvious. I still like it. It doesn't take much to amuse me. Okay, so in 916, I had that long bitching where I was talking about Luffy being imprisoned, right? And how I just don't think that weakens your character every time it happens. And so Hunter talked about, like, spoilers for Act 2. Odo proved you wrong. Luffy does get buffed out this arc. And that's the thing. That's why I believe this one. I think I say this later. I don't remember if he's at that point or not. But I say this later. Him being captured here is great. It's perfect for the story. It's really what you should do. So don't have Mom capture him. Don't have these other people capture him. The one that really sticks out to me is Big Mom captures him, puts him in a book, and he almost immediately gets out. And the only point of that is so he can have a conversation with her. You could do that with them having a huge distance between them, or just like there's somebody has a snail, and he picks it up and he talks to her for a couple minutes. He's done that before, right? You don't need him to be locked up to have a conversation with Big Mom, because I love that conversation. I love where he talks about your story is boring. You're not the king of the pirates yet, so you're boring. Like, meanwhile, he's a filthy hypocrite because he's also not king of the pirates. He keeps talking about he's going to be. He's mad that she wants to be king of the pirates. He's going around telling everybody he wants to be king of the pirates. You're in the same boat as her, man. So why are you going to criticize her when you're doing the same shit? Hypocrite. And I like that. I like the hypocrisy, but I also like the way he was talking shit to her. Your story is boring and you suck. It's just so good, man. So good. So, but like you didn't need to be. Take out some of the other times he got captured, right? I would do once per character per story getting captured at the most. Otherwise, your villains look like morons and your character looks weak. I stand by that statement. This was the time I would have done it because this was the perfect time for it to be captured. Interesting comment here by Kato Pack 622. Definitely think if Chopper really wanted people to stop calling him a raccoon dog, he would walk around on all fours more. Definitely a reindeer mofo in that form. Do raccoons walk on hind legs? I think I've seen a bunch of pictures of raccoons standing up on hind legs. Do they walk on hind legs? I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe if he was walking around on all fours, people would see him as the reindeer he is. Sometimes things just stick, man. He's even got me calling him a raccoon dog. Because you is. Great comment here, 940 from Power of Death. Fun fact, the smile fruits were foreshadowed all the way back in episode 398 by Doflamingo over 500 episodes ago. In a phone call with the slave auction house, he says, human trafficking is so old-fashioned, you idiot. It's all about smiles now. Smiles! Odo definitely planned this out for decades. Oh, yeah, no question. No question. Most of the shit we see in the series, he probably was executed exactly as he originally planned. I have my doubts about a few things, and that's what happens. Stories evolve. If a story didn't evolve, it would suck. How I Met Your Mother. They didn't evolve the story. They planned something in season 2 when they filmed the end sequences. And they stuck to that plan all the way to the end of the series. The series had evolved way beyond what they originally planned. But they stuck to the end. And it sucked. People hated it. You have to evolve. So none of this says, when I talk about retcons, I'm not complaining. The retcons, it's better that he did Sobo. He created the character Sobo, put him in there and resurrected him, rather than bringing back Zoro's girlfriend. It's better because it affects the main character rather than the side character. It's exactly what you should have done. That's better. So, retcons are fine. Changing your mind is fine, but most of the time I think he sticks to the plan and it's flawless. And the foreshadowing is so good. This one I like. It's from One Piece versus Pragmatic, one of my shorts. Big skinny string man versus rubber monkey. Doffy versus Luffy, of course. I like that. This is Hunter from 917. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I believe Moria's Shadow Fruit is a stronger version of Big Mom's Soul Fruit. I think you're probably right. I wonder if you get shit for that on Reddit, if you ever dare say something like that on Reddit. This is Hunter's obsessed with the douche bird, the journal. He owns the newspaper company, right? Obsessed. I don't know why. He's all right, but Anyway, he's talking about him. This is a small piece of information, but it's hinted at that he was a freelance journalist and he used his invisible powers to get news. He was the one who leaked the Pirate Alliance Captain Kidd was doing. Wait, is it Absalom? Absalom. I don't think Absalom is the douchebird, though. Let me make sure. Oh, that's some bitch. Okay, yeah, you did say invisible powers, didn't you? Jesus. I was thinking douchebird's powers. I got lost in the sauce. Okay, I remember who he is. He's the one who wanted to marry Nami. That invisible douche, okay. Yeah, I could totally see that. I could totally see that. And you wouldn't even have to be a freelance journalist. You just if you ever come across a story, because you would early on this would be happening, kind of like Rita Skeeter with what she was doing. But early on this would be happening where it's like you hear shit because nobody knows you're around. Sell the information. You don't even have to be a freelance journalist. You just be a mercenary essentially. So, hey man, anytime I got some information, throw me some ducats and I'll tell you the information. So it's just whenever he comes across something. A freelance journalist would be more going out trying to seek out the information. And maybe he did in this case if you're right about what happened. But I think mostly it's probably shit he stumbled across. So he'd just be an information seller, information source, right? Frederick, can't pronounce the last name. Not even going to try because it'd probably be mad disrespectful. In 978 said the animation of some of these episodes, we've come a long way since the East Blue Saga. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Technology's come a long way. It's cheaper to do better, right? Back then, it was more expensive to do slightly better. Now it's cheaper to do much better. And this is Ringo Road Again. Ringo Road Again. Um, Episode 917. Perona is her name. Perona. Why can I never remember that shit? Has my favorite female character design in One Piece. I agree. Because for one thing, she doesn't have the massive airbag blimps, sticking out of her chest. Ridiculous, impractical, and ridiculous, and unattractive. Y'all people are weird, man. The author's weird. Apparently, his wife encouraged that. She's weird. But yeah, Perona. I love her design. I love her character. I love her personality. And like I said, I love that she's evil, and I wish she was part of the team. And 944, this is Power of Death. It's true about food in One Piece making viewers want to eat. I've never had mochi before until I watched Carrot Top. And then I started to eat some mochi. They're really good. There's also mochi covered ice cream, which is great. I know I'm butchering the name, mochi, but whatever. You munch on the mochi, right? Yeah, now that sounds pornographic. Munch on the mochi. No thanks. Hunter Stone in 919 says the guy in the hippo's mouth is one of the weirdest smile fruit designs. Could you think of a design weirder than that? Man, not really. Yeah, you know, probably. There's been some weird ass designs. There's been some very impractically weird ass designs. Sky P is coming to mind, but I can't think of the specific character. There was somebody in there that was super weird and it just didn't work for me. I guess you have to go back through my uh, playlist because somewhere in there I'll talk about it. I'm going to keep my eye on these people coming up because it's just, here's the thing. If your head is inside somebody's mouth, you got saliva around you all the time going in your ears and your eyes and your mouth. It doesn't work. It's not practical, man. So just, it's disgusting also on top of that. Imagine what happens to you when he eats. Like, ugh, just no. No. Don't do it. This is worse than the snot all over the place. The author's obsessed with snot. This is worse than that. Never thought I'd say that, but Kato Pack is this, from episode 631 says he would rock with a rewatch. So I don't know that I don't know that that would happen. Like people would care, but it didn't seem to bother the people because the first 17 episodes was a rewatch because I lost those files. It didn't seem to bother people too much. I think rewatches can be really fun. Most people though want a first time watch, and I'm the same way. I want first time watches. I don't want rewatches. I even hate it when there's three people and one of them have seen the show before. I hate it. Season one of Severance, and Normie's what's his face, Surge, had seen it before. And here's a dude, he runs a reaction channel as a business. Severance is a popular show. Why the hell would you watch that? I understand. There's a couple things I watch on my own. Like Silo, for instance. I don't think Silo would ever have an audience because it's just too small, right? Like maybe that's not true anymore. Severance has brought more people to the Apple TV. Maybe they would watch it. Maybe I screwed myself. I don't think so though. You can't. I can't record reactions and release every show that has ever existed. You need a couple things just to watch on your own, so you can let your hair down, even though I don't have any, and just relax, right? But why would he do Severance? Like that is just such a bad choice. But then, having done Severance, he still sits there for the reaction. Now he hasn't seen season 2, so he can do season 2, fine, right? But it annoys me that he's seen season 1. It always annoys me when somebody's seen something and other people haven't. I don't like that dynamic. Even though I want to do rewatches, as an audience member, I would not watch a rewatch. Which is wild because I watch riff tracks. Used to. I don't have time anymore. MST3K. If somebody had said I have the intention I'm going to do a MST3K or do a riff tracks of something, I would watch it because they're riffing it. They're writing jokes, or maybe they're improvising jokes. So I would watch. I don't know if anybody would watch a riff tracks of something. Because I would love to do a riff tracks of some of these shows, even of One Piece. Where I watch it 3 or 4 times, come up with some jokes, put them in there. Would anybody care about that? Like, I'm not as funny and I'm not as talented as people who do riff tracks, so it wouldn't be as good. But, maybe I could, come up with some good jokes. So I don't know if anybody would be interested. That would be the only way I think people would care about a rewatch, even though I'd love to do a rewatch. I think that's the only way people would care. Okay, episode 956, I talk about what my plans are. I've cemented my plans. I'm gonna, after, the episode 1000, I'm going down to 5 episodes a week. You're gonna find that out next week. I'm only gonna do 1 episode a day moving forward until the show comes back, and we're gonna see where we are. But I believe the way that's gonna play out is it's about 10 weeks until the show comes back, something like that. So 10 weeks would be another 50 episodes. So we would be at 1050 with only 1120 so far existing. So then another 10 weeks, I'm up to 1100. And in those 10 weeks, they would have only done 10 more episodes, right? So then I would be at 1100. They would be at 1132. I think it's 1122 exactly. So 1132. So then within another 10 weeks, I would have already caught up with the show. And I'd be watching it weekly. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. But that way I don't catch up quite as fast. And it gives me more time to do other shit. I can take more time with the episodes. Maybe my intros and outros be longer. I can do more special videos. Maybe I can go back to doing a comment corner, because the problem is I was doing 10 episodes a week. Comment corners and character corners, man, it's just like, that would extend my day sometimes by half hour or more. And I just don't have time. It's hard enough to get to 10 episodes a week. So that 10 episodes a week it's killing any of the extra shit I could do for the show. So by dialing it back to 5 a week, I can now take more time with the 5 episodes and start doing more comments and comment. I'm going to start doing more comment corners, maybe every episode if there's enough comments. Maybe going back to the character corner. The characters are pretty static, so there's nothing really to add, which is one of the reasons I haven't done it. But maybe do some other new stuff. It'll give me more time for stuff like that. So, but anyway, that's my plan. The plan has been cemented. I'm going to 5 episodes a week after this week. You're watching this week. I'll start going to 5 episodes a week. And we'll see how that plays out. If it feels like it's dragging, if it's going too slow or something, we can always adjust. Maybe I go to 7 a week where I do 1 every day. Maybe that's what I'll actually do. 1 every single day, including weekends. But I would only still record 5 a week. So I guess slowly we catch up with Patreon. That's going to happen anyway, regardless, whatever we do. Because we just won't have enough new episodes coming out. So anyway, there are some reactors that react bi-weekly because they can't handle week to week. So they skip a week and then watch 2 in a row. Especially if one episode feels a little slow, or there's a massive cliffhanger that blue balls people. Maybe you'd feel similar unless you prefer to do it more slowly, like monthly or seasonal. No, once I catch up, I'm just going to do it week to week. I've heard this week to week is fine these days. It's not like it used to be. We'll see. I can always change my mind. I can always, if I'm doing weekly and I just can't stand it, I'll change my mind. But if there's only 1 episode a week, man, I'm going to really make a big deal. Those videos will be pretty long. Because we'll be talking we'll be theorized. I can finally theorize. I can go online, talk about what other people's theories are. Because I'll be current. The only chance is to come across manga spoilers, but you can't. There's nothing you can do about that. So you just avoid the manga stuff and stay in the anime-only circles, right? This is a reply to... This is one of my favorite replies I've ever gotten. It's episode 815, and I was talking about... I was talking about Brooke and how he has the soul. He's a soul king. And I went, Soul King! And I was playing off a Soul Train. That's what they used to do for Soul Train, right? This person said that part woke up his cat that was sleeping next to him. Cats don't like those high register notes, man. He'll wake his ass. The cat's like, what the fuck is that? I love that so much. That might be my favorite comment I've ever gotten. I love it. Let me know if I ever freak out your animals. Okay, so 977. This is a Kato pack. I actually suspected Kanjuro, but didn't want it to be him. Didn't really want it to be anyone, but yes, the craziest clue for me is how when they jump into the future, you can see some drawn birds fly away right away to send Kanjio's report. That is a crazy ass clue. That's a great clue. He didn't waste any time either, did he? So what did he do? Just go behind the corner. Hey man, I gotta take a shit real quick. Draw a bunch of birds real quick and send them out. Did he have them ready? Were they locked and loaded? How did he talk to them with nobody hearing? Like I have questions, but I still think that's a really cool clue. And the fact that he dressed like a kabuki actor, that's a good clue. It's like he's playing a role the whole time. Yeah, that's some really good clues and foreshadowing. Nobody would ever figure out the first time, but the second time you totally get it. I love when people imitate the laughs in the comments, like Hunter Stone in 923. He imitated Brooks' laugh. Yo ho 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 ho. I can hear it in my head when I do that. I love when people do the laughs in the comments. That made me laugh out loud when that happened. The Hunter Stone. No, I'm pretty sure Naruto and One Piece fandom have a rivalry. The authors are friends though. I don't. Yeah, maybe the fandom do have rivalries, but clearly the authors like each other. That's kind of what I was talking about. Like they leave little Easter eggs for each other. They reference each other. So I'm glad that they're friends because that would be a stupid rivalry because you're not in competition with each other. I can read Naruto and then I can read One Piece. I'm not reading One Piece instead of Naruto. If I want to read both, I'll read both. If I want to watch both shows, I'll watch both shows. There's time in the day, right? It's not like the old days when there's 3 networks. If something's on at 8 p.m. on Monday and you're on at 8 p.m. on Monday, people can only watch one or the other. We didn't have VCRs. We didn't have streaming. We didn't have DVDs or CDs or VHS or anything. You watched one, you weren't watching the other. That's competition. That's when you hate each other. This ain't competition. You can do both. Episode 962. This is probably my favorite flashback. This is Power Death. It's probably my favorite flashback in the entire series. Full of fun, actions, and sadness. Also, I really wanted to see some prime Whitebeard and Gold Roger at the height of their power. You correctly counted 7 plus 3, but Izzo wasn't among the 9. I'm sure you already know that by now. But yeah, I wanted these flashbacks. I never thought we were going to get them, and I really liked getting them. So yeah, I agree 100%. Here's another one. The One Piece is real. Was that in doubt? I want to meet the person that really believed that didn't exist. I know we got confirmation, and that is a big moment, right? In 860 in episode 969, Power Death says, "You said Roger won't have any kids. Did you forget Ace was Roger's son?" I guess I did. He was executed in Logetown, same town where I forgot the name of the town, Logetown. Right. I think that was like the 3rd arc or something, wasn't it? Or mini arc. Well, you have Saga, arc. What's below arc? There's some mini story, maybe, I don't know, but they have that, right? So, yeah, it's just it's kind of interesting. Ace being Gold Roger's son really having no impact on the plot. They announced it, and then Ace is dead a couple minutes later, so it didn't really impact the plot. He had no children, so there goes the legacy of Gold Roger. I kind of like that. Some of the biggest figures in history did not have children. Alexander the Great didn't have children. So we're kind of following that tradition in a way. Even though he had Ace, I mean, he didn't have Ace for long. I don't even think Ace grew to be 25, did he? No. So didn't have it for very long. Also, why make the gestation be like 11 or 12 months or some shit? Like there was a thing, I don't remember the details now. It feels like there was a retcon because he decided later he wanted Ace to be Roger's son, but the timing didn't make sense. So he had to make, he was in the womb for like 14 months or some shit. That's a little wonky. So I'd rather you retcon the birth date. But I don't remember details now. So he kind of he went out of his way to make it happen, but then didn't do anything with it. Which is the point. It's kind of interesting. That's why I say it's interesting. I'm not saying it's a flaw. It's not a mistake. I'm saying it's interesting. And it is interesting that he made that choice. Episode 927, Hunter Stone. I don't think Brook can do anything in his ghost form, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think I don't think we've ever seen him affect anything. He can talk. He's good for communication, but he can't, like most ghosts can knock over a teacup or something. Doesn't seem like he can do shit like that. Okay, episode 928. Hunter Stone's competence ranking. Number 1's Robin. Number 2, Frankie. I don't know why you put him so low. I also think he's very underutilized. I agree, because when I did my rankings earlier in this video, I think I put him 4th. Maybe 5th. I don't know how low he was in here. It's a while since I recorded that video. But yeah, I agree. I disagree with my past self. Brook, number 3. Nami, 4. Sanji, 5. Usopp, 6. Zoro, 7? Zoro, 7! We must be factoring in the fact he's shit for directions. Competence, I guess competence does cover everything. It's not just fighting. If we were ranking fighting, that'd be different. Okay, fine. His inability to arrive at a destination is annoying. I agree with you. Luffy age is ridiculous. You're smoking crack, man. Although he is a dumbass. He is a dumbass, and he could blow up a plan that would have worked. I guess you're not smoking crack. Okay, fine, you're smoking chronic, but you're not smoking crack. Like, 8 is ridiculous, but there are some aggravating factors that we have to consider. So I'm not saying he should be in the top 4. In Chopper's 9th, you're a hater, but I agree. Also, I want to call your attention. I can't read it because it's a really long comment. 2 long comments, really. But episode 482, you should go back to my reaction to episode 482, look at the comments. 3 weeks ago, the Ahmed Abdullah, I think, something like that. I can't pronounce it. It has some really good comments about the Lava Boy. Really, really good. Really long, detailed. So if you care about this kind of like nerd bag detail of minor characters, go check out these comments. They're fantastic. Like I said, way too long to read. Which is good. 9:30, Hunter tells me that Queen's dub voice actor, the English actor, is a Broadway actor. I believe it. The dude can sing. He's good. I love that character. He's one of the villains I like. Okay, HIG 984 asks, when was the last time Usopp got a storyline? Dressrosa was the last time, because I think I asked that question in the episode. Dressrosa was the last major one for Usopp. With him defeating Sugar on accident and then making it up to taking her down fair and square the second time. Agreed. That and him taking out Perona are the 2 highlights of after the time skip. Was that before the time skip? The Perona thing. No, Perona was before the time skip. Those are my 2 favorite storylines in the last 600 episodes. But yeah, Dressrosa is the last time they've done anything with him. And I'm okay with that because, like, since they're not going to advance his character, not going to evolve his character, let's just not have him around. That's how I feel about it. It's annoying. I want better for him. That's why I feel like me and Hunter should be on the same page about this, because you should want better for him too. You should want him to have evolved his character. You should want him, the 2 hour, you should want that the 2 years on that island would have toughened him up and made him a stronger, more evolved character, more complete person. You should want that. So, I just want the same thing you want. I want him to be better. Okay, episode 989, I was talking about the cover and the toys and making the tank a toy and all that stuff. A puzzle or a model. Making a model you can put together. HIG says, I'm pretty sure that the tank cover is an anime original. And it's been turned into merchandise, of course it has, in the past multiple times. But this is also supposed to be a joke because the great monsters in Oganashima, Frankie is just a toy. That's true. To those monsters, he's just a toy. Look at him playing around with his little toy. In the manga, the first page is always a cover with the title, because I was asked about that too. The first page, what they do with that. So it's a cover with the title and a single large-size panel illustration. The illustration can be part of a canon cover story or just his take on a reader request, or maybe every 5 chapters so we get a full color 2-page drawing. So, pretty cool info there. Okay, 934, Devil Gamer Ultra, like that name. The avatar looks pretty cool too. I wish you could zoom in on avatars. I don't think you could get more detail. Couldn't she have just sent Kato to thousands of years into the future? Maybe hockey matters in this, like with Law's power, but does this mean Keenan doesn't have better hockey than her? Well, also Keenamon would have to be resisting her. You know, like you would activate your hockey to resist her ability to send you through the future. But they were pretty much defeated and given up at that point, and they were going to go along with whatever she decided. So I don't think anybody was resisting her. So it wouldn't matter how much hockey you had. I do think hockey could probably resist this power like it can any fruit power. So Kato probably, we could just say he has too much power. Also, here's the thing: if you come for the king, you better not miss. So you don't know what the situation is. You don't know if he can resist your power or not. You don't know if hockey. Maybe she does know, but like you can assume it's possible that hockey could resist it. If you expose your power now and attempt to send him in the future, and you fail, he kills you and everything is lost. And then he kills your kids, who are right there. By the way, everything's lost. I don't think you attempt it. I think that you have to. She played it the right way, and we're probably going to get the result we want, which is him defeated. It's going to take 20 years, and so you doom your island to 20 years of oppression. I don't know why she picked 20 years. Why would that be? Maybe she wanted her daughter, who she's keeping behind for some unknown reason. Maybe she wanted her daughter to grow up to be at a perfect age to assist, and that would take 20 years. But you're dooming your people to 20 years of oppression. Now, unfortunately, the time worked out because Luffy wouldn't be around if you'd just done it 10 years ago. But I don't know about that, but like I think the risk of you failing wasn't worth the possible reward if you succeeded, right? So, you got to play the odds here, and I think she made the right choice. In 931, I was asking, can Luffy stretch himself smaller to get under something like a door? Hunter Stone says he's never stretched himself smaller. His stretching only makes him bigger. He can't escape cells or collars. You would think there must be some kind of limit there, I guess. Like it's just the powers work the way the powers work. That's fine. But you would think you could stretch yourself smaller. We've seen Mr. Fantastic do it. We've seen other people with stretching powers do that, where they can stretch themselves really thin and go into things. You would think Luffy could do it, but the fact that he never has, either he has a lack of imagination or it's not possible. It must not be possible. Like I said, the fruits have what limits they have. So we'll just go with that. But like, it was interesting. I couldn't remember if he'd ever done it, and clearly he has not done it. 994 is when HID was telling me that, the weekly could work for me. He has a pretty long comment, so I'll let you check it out for yourself. But he explains why he thinks that the weekly format can work for me now, which is good. I think I'm going to catch up to it at the right time. 934, Hunter Stone says, we can figure out one other name of one of Law's crew, but only because Penguin has his name on his hair. But only because Penguin has his name on his hat. Fair enough. That is a good way to tell what somebody's name is. I wish everybody did it. Name tags. Name tags. Uh, 934, we've got Spin Pals, something like that. It's always hype when Zoro's about to fight. And he looks great in a Japanese-style outfit. I agree 100% on both counts. I'm always excited. 999, HIJ reminds me of when I really hated somebody. Was that noodle, the dude spitting noodles out of his nose on a train fight. He's right. That sucked. That was the first time I was like, I hate this. I hate it. I want it to stop. Agreed. That sucks ass. Spitting noodles out of his nose. Disgusting. This is a very disgusting, nose-oriented, snot-loving show. And I don't understand why that is. I guess everything has to have a flaw, right? And HIG's hyping up episode 1015. This is a comment he left for episode 1000. So now you've reached the episode 1000 milestone. Are you ready for the chapter 1000 milestone? That's right. Episode 1000 in the anime isn't chapter 1000 in the manga. Chapter 1000 in the manga is actually episode 1015 in the anime. And while the anime rarely does something special for milestone episodes, this one being an exception, they had to work with Oda to have the things line up. Oda typically, but not always, does something special for milestone chapters in the manga. Episode 1015 is in the anime, which corresponds to chapter 1000 in the manga, was directed by the same person who directed two other critically acclaimed episodes. Namely, the episode in between Act 2 and 3 of Wano, in which we learned that the warlord system was abolished, and the episode that features Queen's performance in Ogen Nashima. So see you in episode 1015 for Oda's 1000 milestone. Okay, so that being the case, I think we're going to have a major character death or something. And the fact it's directed by somebody who did the Warlord thing tells me my prediction is 1015 is we're going to see one of the Warlords die. Maybe Mihawk. Maybe we're going to see him attacked and killed. Because that would be pretty big because he would, from early on, he was been a big deal in the series, right? He's one of the first badasses we ever met. He's the first Warlord we ever met. Because we met him before we even met Crocodile. So I think that will be the episode we cut away and show him fighting the Navy and getting killed somehow. Probably Lava Boy. Maybe some other vice admiral they're trying to geek up and talk about how powerful he is or something. That's my prediction for what's going to happen for 1015. And I've been recording for over an hour. I know I'm going to cut some of that out because I've been panning. But that being the case, and I just talked about episode 1000, let's do one more question maybe. Let's find a good one here. Well, this doesn't count, but this is a good comment. Hunter Stone from 936. I may be remembering wrong, but I think they changed the time slot to be later so the anime can censor left stuff. That's why we're starting to get shit. You shitty brat. And some of the gore, right? So, yeah, that'd be cool. I don't think I hearted this, but I don't remember this comment. This is from 12 days ago. Also, episode 1000. I can't wait for the chapter 1000 equivalent in the anime. 1015, and let me tell you, you're in for a treat. I'm doubling down. They're definitely killing Mihawk in that episode. Okay, confirmed. This is from Dutch Beer. Bet Dutch Beer is pretty good. And let's just end on this note. This was a correction. From episode 943, I think it was Nami who punched the shit out of the Alpha Wolf and not Luffy. Fair enough. I don't remember it. I'll take your word for it. But that's the one time Luffy is not subjugating an animal. Typically, Luffy's the one who subjugates the animals. But big ups for Nami. She punched the shit out of that wolf. That's right. Recognize who the Alpha Wolf is. All right, well, that's the way overextended, too long Q&A. So we'll leave it here for now. See you in episode 2000.